So their profiles are module 2, which is what we call the storybook process, or putting together your adoption profile. So what are some of the things that they can prepare for even before module 2, even when they first start off on their journey, in how they can approach taking pictures, what types of pictures, and just any tips that you can give us?
Great. I love that you call it the storybook process, because I really think of my job is as a storyteller and helping clients understand what's unique about them, and kind of drawing those threads out from clients, and then helping people, suggest photos they can take, and helping craft their text a little bit, and then putting together the design of a profile book that really supports whatever your authentic story is. And our job is never to create that story, but it's to help you tell your story. And I think that starts when you're writing your text. People often think that writing the text is going to be the hardest part. But I find photos are really the part that's more time consuming and really give people a little bit more trouble. The text, the really common pitfalls that I see are sometimes the text is just too darn long and too detailed. And shorter is really better. So keeping it warm and conversational and concise is really important, because we've learned that expectant parents are kind of flipping through the books to get a sense of who you are. And if they like you, they'll stop and read, but you have to get to that where they kind of like you and get to know you a little bit. And it's photos that do the heavy lifting of sharing who you are long before anybody reads a word of your text. To have big, attractive, beautiful pictures in your book means we need space on the page, literally. And so the less text we have, the more space on the page for your pictures. So keeping that text short, conversational, warm, bullet points are great. And then as you're writing, make a mental list or a physical list, what's really a shot list of, what are your values? What are your hobbies? What is unique about you? And do you have a picture that tells that story? And most people don't. Most people have to be intentional with their pictures to find photos that really are storytellers. So people might write in the text, we're really into healthy eating, and that's really important to us, and we've done Whole30. And I was just reading someone's text that said that. And my suggestion was, well, it's wintertime, so you're not going to go out into the garden, and there's not a farmer's market, but go to Whole Foods, because it's gorgeous and you've got all that beautiful produce, and take some pictures, of, getting the oranges or getting the fresh flowers, or, how can you take this value that you have and visually present it so that an expectant mom will see it. Or Jamba Juice. Those are beautiful too.
Interesting. I would have never thought about that, but if you think about it, that's a huge part of your life. Like, you shop at Whole Foods, which tells a huge story in and of itself.
Exactly.
And that out of the box thinking that tells the best story. So I agree with you. From the very beginning, really think about what's important in our lives. And trust me, what's important in your life sets you apart from everybody else.
Yes. Right.
So going to the store is one of them. Obviously, you're not going to have all these pictures in the store, but what are some of those? You mentioned stories, pictures that tell stories.
Right.
What does that mean?
This often comes up when I'm looking at family pictures with clients, and family pictures are a little bit touchy because people want to include all of their siblings and all of their family members. And sometimes what I get are a whole lot of group shots where everyone is standing kind of shoulder to shoulder. And it's, here's my brother, my two sisters and their kids. And when you look at a lot of those, like I do, or like an expectant mom might be looking at a lot of profiles and a lot of photos, they all really blur together. I mean, they all blur together. And while each of those people is really, really important to you, the adoptive family, to a birth mom, it's just a sea of faces. So if you think about, what's your family's personality? And is it the matching pajamas on Christmas? Do you go camping every year? So even if those pictures aren't as beautifully composed, and even if those pictures don't include the entire family, those pictures I think are much, much more interesting, and they tell a story rather than just kind of show a sea of faces. They tell a story. And again, when you're trying to connect with an expectant mom, you're just kind of throwing hooks out, right? We camp, we have cute pajamas, we make gingerbread houses. And you're really hoping that one of those connects with her and pulls her in enough so that she reads the rest of the profile and really looks at it a lot more carefully.